Hi, I'm Ted Parker, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make some homemade strombolis. Something that I like to do. We're going to do a spinach and shrimp stromboli. Of course, we're going to have cheese, mushrooms, and I'm going to show you how to make the filling first. I used to be the food service director for a school district, so I've got a lot of food service background. My goal is to try to just bring out some recipes that are vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian. We started out as, my family and I, started out as vegans, and we went from vegans to being pescatarians. So today I'm going to show you a meal that basically you can do. Really, if you want to make it a vegetarian meal, you can, because you can just use the spinach without the shrimp. But I'm going to do spinach, shrimp, mushrooms, and of course some cheese, and a little bit of sauce, and all of this I'm going to put together and show you in just a minute. So, right now I've got some onions sauteing on the stove, and I'm going to put in my spinach and start to cook my spinach. Now before I put the spinach in, I brought it frozen, already chopped, and then I took it and I drained it. I just squeezed all the excess water out of it. This way you won't have a lot of water or watery type of a stromboli. And a stromboli is basically like a calzone or like a wrapped pizza with all of the ingredients on the inside of the crust instead of laying on top of the crust. So we're in the process of getting all of our ingredients that we need to make the filling, okay? So I'm going to get my garlic, and I'm going to use about a heaping teaspoon of ground garlic. And I always try to keep some garlic. I buy garlic at the store, I bring it, and I basically puree it in my NutriBullet, and then I have garlic ready to go all the time. I don't have to chop it, I don't have to dice, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is just put it in. So that's my garlic, and then we're going to go with mushrooms. We're going to put some canned mushrooms in again. I drained the mushrooms and I kind of squeezed the extra extra moisture out of the mushrooms. So now we got this all cooking, and I started out with a little bit of grapeseed oil, because I like to use grapeseed oil instead of any other kind of oils, because one, it has a high temp before it starts to burn, and then it also is very good for you. It's you know, a good monosaturated fat, so it's really good for you, and it's a really nice light oil. So I like to use the grapeseed oil. So we're going to add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese to it. You can use as much Parmesan as you want. I just use a couple of shakes because of the fact I want to get a little bit of the Parmesan cheese flavor, and the Parmesan cheese is also going to be in the sauce that we're going to use to make the strombolis. We put a little sauce in there, and then you put this on top with cheese, wrap it up, and you pop it in a nice hot oven. So we want to throw a little bit of Italian seasoning in here. And right now I'm just going to shake some in. But I would suggest that you use like a half of a teaspoon of Italian seasoning in here. Put that in there. And then again, just try to stir it around. You don't have to do a whole lot of cooking to it. You just want to get it nice and hot, because you want the spinach to still have a nice little bite to it, and of course the mushrooms to be, you know, nice and just give you a little bit of texture as well. Now, in the process of doing this, this really smells really good now that you've got the garlic in there and you've got the Parmesan cheese. It really is starting to really smell my kitchen up real nicely. But I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to take a break for a second, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to get this mixture together, and so that we can start putting together the strombolis, because it's really not that difficult, but you do have a lot of processes that you have to go through to get it done. So I'm getting ready to go to the next process, so I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, now we're back. Again, we're making strombolis, alright? So now I've got my dough already rolled out. I have it on the counter. I used a little flour to roll it out so of course it wouldn't stick to my counter. Now then I lined my counter with a little bit of cellophane too. We're also going to put shrimp in here. I've already took the shrimp. These are like 4150s, which means they're 41 to 50 count to a pound. So I've already taken them, seasoned them, and sauteed them in the skillet. And my skillet that I used was a Wolfgang Puck skillet. I love Wolfgang Puck. They're the best skillets ever. And I went through the process of sauteing them so that they could at least have a little pre-cooked to them. Didn't cook them too long. You know that they just need to get that translucent, peachy, pink looking color so that you'll know that they're done. But I wanted to pre-cook them because they won't be in the oven that long. You're only going to cook these long enough to get your crust to turn nice and golden brown. Usually that takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and then again that depends on how brown you want your crust to be too. So we're getting ready to start loading our crust. We're going to start with this one. And we're going to put our sauce in. And this is just basically a canned spaghetti sauce. I added Parmesan cheese, garlic, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of my favorite seasoning in the world, the Creole seasoning, which is the Tony Cheshire seasoning. Wonderful seasoning. You can put this on everything. Italian, Mexican, whatever you want to use. It's not going to change your flavor profile as far as what direction you want to go with it. If you want to do some kind of fusion where you're mixing Asian and you're mixing Mexican together, it just blends really good. It's a really good seasoning. So I'm going to start by putting a little sauce down on my dough. And again, my dough is just a regular pizza crust dough that you buy in a can. You can get it at any store. You can get it, any kind of brand. But I just buy a regular brand, an off-label brand, whatever brand the store is offering, that's what I get. So I take it and I roll it out and I cut it into like 3 different sections. Because I figure I can get like 3 Strombolis to 1 can of the dough. So I spread down just a little layer of sauce. I don't really want a whole lot, just a little bit. And then I take and I put on some cheese. Now I have 2 different types of cheese. I have mozzarella, and then I have a mixture of Colby and Monterey. So I'm going to put a little bit of the cheese down of both brands, both different types, I mean. And you want to go through the process of making this, just nice and a luxurious type of Stromboli, because you want this to be your main entree. You want this to be, what your family comes and starts to look forward to. It's a really good dish. So, now I'm going to put my spinach mixture on. I tried this the other day at a restaurant, and it was just spinach and cheese and the dough process. It was delicious though. It was really good, and they had really took the dough and they had put garlic and olive oil on the dough, and they baked it. Got a nice crispy feel to it, nice good bite to it. It was delicious. So I figured I could come home and make my own. So that's what I'm doing today. And so I'm just going to lay a few of the shrimp down. Maybe about 4, 5, 2 in order. And then a little bit more cheese. And then we're going to wrap this bad boy right on up. It's going to be fat. And again, there's no right way to do this. There's no wrong way to do this. Just get it wrapped. And you want to try to seal it the best that you can, because that's going to make for a better Stromboli when you get it where it doesn't ooze and everything doesn't ooze out. So we're wrapping, and we're getting everything together. Just pull your dough and stretch your dough. It's very pliable. Just get it and stretch it and pull it, and yeah, you can get it to do whatever you want it to do. And then you want to give it a little bit of a shape. And then you want to kind of score it. You want to just take a knife. I prefer a serrated edge knife. And just kind of squeeze and make a little incision. And then we pop it on our sheet pan, which again I oiled with grapeseed oil. So I've already, greased my pan with some grapeseed oil, and I like to use my liners because it helps it to keep things from sticking and burning. So I put this on. And then I want to get a little bit of oil. Now, in order to make this, in order to baste our dough, or basically to oil our dough, I'm going to use olive oil, and I'm going to use some fresh garlic. So we'll put a little olive oil in a little bowl. And then we will put the fresh garlic in there. Let me get my fork, because I want to stir it around. And again, maybe 1/3 of a teaspoon of the minced garlic. And we're just going to mix it around in the oil. And then I'm going to take my hands, and I'm just going to go over and I'm just going to rub a little oil right on the dough. It's going to happen to get nice and golden brown, and it's going to give it a great flavor too. And that's how we make our strombolis. Now we're going to come back in a minute, and I'm going to show you how it looks once it's cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these 3. I don't really think you need to see me do these, but I'm going to go ahead and finish those off, put them in the oven, and then we're going to come back and show you what the end product looks like.